Jikook, flush face extreme protection. Jungkook never leaves Jimin in the crowd. In the middle of chaos, noise, and flashing cameras, one thing became impossible to ignore. Jungkook did not leave Jimin's side. Not even for a second. What many fans expected to be a routine public appearance quickly turned into a moment that sparked endless conversations, theories, and emotional reactions across the fandom. As the crowd grew tighter and movements became harder, Jungkook's presence beside Jimin felt deliberate, constant, and intensely focused. Whether it was through subtle body positioning, careful steps, or his sharp awareness of the people around them, Jungkook appeared fully locked in on one mission: keeping Jimin safe. This wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic in an obvious way. It was quiet, controlled, and deeply noticeable. Fans watching closely couldn't help but ask, was this simple habit? Was it instinct? Or was it something more? An unspoken promise to stay close no matter how overwhelming the situation became? Throughout the moment, Jungkook consistently adjusted his pace to match Jimin's. When the crowd shifted, he shifted too. When Jimin slowed down, Jungkook slowed with him. There was no rushing ahead, no turning away, no visible distraction. His attention remained steady, as if the world around them had faded into the background. What made this even more striking was how natural it looked. There was no forced gesture, no exaggerated movement for cameras. Instead, everything felt automatic, like something Jungkook didn't even need to think about. His body language spoke louder than words. I'm here. Stay with me. Jimin, on the other hand, appeared calm, trusting, and completely at ease. Despite the surrounding noise and pressure, his expression suggested comfort rather than tension. That alone raised another question among fans. Does Jimin feel safest when Jungkook is right there beside him? Moments like these are why Jikook continues to fascinate people around the world. It's not about grand declarations or scripted interactions. It's about the small, almost invisible details, the way they move together, read each other, and exist in the same space without needing explanations. This wasn't the first time fans noticed Jungkook's protective instincts around Jimin. Over the years, similar moments have surfaced repeatedly in airports, backstage areas, crowded events, and public schedules. Each time, the pattern feels consistent. Jungkook stays close. Jungkook watches the surroundings. Jungkook adjusts himself to make sure Jimin is okay. And every time, fans ask the same question: is this coincidence or habit? Some argue that Jungkook is simply attentive and responsible, especially in high-pressure situations. Others believe this level of awareness goes beyond professionalism. To them, it looks personal, deeply personal. Not something planned, but something felt. What's undeniable is the emotional impact these moments have. Social media quickly filled with clips, screenshots, and slowed-down analyses. Fans pointed out how Jungkook subtly positioned himself between Jimin and the crowd, how his gaze kept scanning the surroundings, how he never allowed too much distance to form between them. Even when distractions appeared, Jungkook's focus returned immediately to Jimin. That consistency is what fuels the conversation. Because in a space where chaos is normal and separation is easy, choosing to stay close becomes meaningful. For many fans, this moment wasn't about proving anything. It wasn't about labels or conclusions. It was about witnessing care in its purest form, silent, steady, and protective without being controlling. There's something powerful about protection that doesn't demand attention. And perhaps that's why this moment resonated so deeply. Jikook has always been about energy rather than explanation, about presence rather than performance. And in this crowded, overwhelming environment, that energy was unmistakable. Jungkook's actions didn't need words. They told their own story, a story of awareness, a story of instinct, a story of someone who refuses to walk away when things get difficult. Whether you see this as friendship, bond, habit, or something uniquely theirs, one thing is clear: Jungkook chose to stay. And Jimin didn't have to look back to know he was there. That silent understanding, visible only to those paying close attention, is what keeps fans watching, replaying, and feeling every second of moments like this. Because sometimes, the strongest connections aren't spoken. They're simply shown,